Ah, Zozo, my favorite Ouija board possessing internet icon. I know in the past we've taken a look at many demons in one video, but today I want to take a closer look at one in particular. We'll be able to delve a little bit deeper into the backstory and get a better idea of how Zozo came to be. We'll also be able to look at some strategies for dealing with this demon on your own. Gotta make sure you folks are playing safe out there. Hello horror heads and welcome back to the scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your horror host, Keegan Hughes, and today we're going to dive right into some demon lore with the top 5 Demon Zozo facts that will haunt you. Never heard of Demon Zozo? Well, you've come to the right place. This video will serve as a crash course for all things Ouija Demon. Before we begin, would you kindly allocate a like to the thumbs up button below and subscribe if you want to see more paranormal activity. Roll the clip.
I don't see anything. Guys, I think we should get out of here.
That clip was from 2014's Ouija and provides us with an example of what can happen if we play with these coffin communicators. Zozo didn't show up in this case, but he very well could if you try. Let's get started. Coming in at number 5, harassment via Ouija board. Demon Zozo is one of the more famous Ouija board demons. While some people manage to actually contact their dead relatives through these alphabet planks, it's always a risk that a demon will show up instead. Zozo will hide its intentions at first and play along, pretending to be whoever the contactees are attempting to summon. It will communicate benevolently for a while before switching up entirely. A surefire sign that you got Zozo on the other end is that the marker on the board will start going around in a figure 8 pattern and then rapidly slide between Z and O. Then it will get downright nasty. It's been known to spell out obscenities and blasphemies in all sorts of ancient languages. Folks also credit Zozo with promising to drag one's firstborn son down to hell. Not the friendliest first encounter, huh? Coming at number 4, popularized by online attention. So a lot of demons become well known through religion or folklore or through a horror movie that's cooked up a plot featuring the devil in question. But we live in the age of the internet now, and nobody's gonna wait around for some Hollywood exec to show them the latest and greatest in supernatural forces. A man by the name of Darren Evans originally posted his Demon Zozo experience online, and soon after it became a terrifying viral phenomenon. Evans was always interested in Ouija boards and has lots of different stories of otherworldly contact from when he was an adolescent. Zozo is the only demon to consistently appear in his life. In a post on the paranormal forum True Ghost Tales, Darren detailed his first experience dealing with Zozo. In this post, he warns readers that Ouija boards are not toys and that everyone using them should be extremely careful. Evans recalls Zozo being friendly at first before commenting about how it wanted to possess his girlfriend and take her to paradise. When he asked the demon where paradise was, he was answered H-E-L-L. Soon after, Evans entered his washroom to see his 1-year-old daughter in the tub about to drown. Her mother had left her alone in the tub for just a second, and somehow the water was turned on and overflowing. After this near-death experience, his daughter was then hospitalized with a strange infection and kept at the hospital for 14 days as the doctors tried to diagnose the illness. At this point, Evans suspected demonic attack. This story blew up online, and many people reached out to Evans with Zozo stories of their own. He says he was shocked by how many people had actually experienced the same demon, especially because they lived all over the country. At one point, the team from Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures met up with Evan at the house, where he first encountered Zozo. Multiple voices were recorded throughout the filming of this episode, which didn't sit well with audiences. Coming in at number 3, Zozo is not a totally new phenomenon. A quick look at Google searches over time will show you that Zozo was not a popular or well-known demon before Evans' story in 2009. Skeptics will point to this as proof that Zozo is just a figment of the public's imagination encouraged by online storytelling. However, the name Zozo was actually penned hundreds of years ago. In Colin de Plancy's 1816 book, Dictionnaire Infernal, this malicious presence is mentioned. It tells the story of a young girl possessed by demons. She claims the names of her demons as Mimi, Capulet, and Zozo. These demons would compel her to walk up and down the streets on all fours and sometimes walk around on her hands, kicking people with her feet as she passed. She was reported to have contorted into strange shapes and move in odd ways commanded by the demons. When a priest was brought in to perform an exorcism, the demons left, shattering all the windows in the house. Now, you might want to take these accounts with a grain of salt, because there are plenty of folks out there who are willing to fake demon possession for attention and fame. The author of Dictionnaire Infernal also wrote that the girl was often feigning possession and at one point was arrested for doing it too often. I guess the townsfolk were tired of putting up with that crap. Filling out our number 2 slot. Pop culture connections. So Zozo's notoriety doesn't stop with online stories. The demon has showed up in a bunch of different places spanning all sorts of media. The most famous instance could possibly connect Zozo with Led Zeppelin. Have you ever taken a look at Led Zeppelin's albums? The more eagle-eyed among you might have noticed the 4 symbols representing the members of the band. A triqueta, interlocking rings, a feather, and Zoso. That last one seems familiar, right? Chosen by Jimmy Page, the Zoso emblem has been a source of mystery and controversy among fans of the legendary band. Some say it's derived from a symbol used to represent the planet of Saturn, as Page is a Capricorn ruled by Saturn. Others claim it's from an Aleister Crowley spellbook, where the symbol has been used in part to represent Lucifer. The band has never shied away from demonic and hellish imagery, so this is a pretty likely explanation. It might even have threads connecting it to the Mesopotamian god Pazuzu. There's enough Zeds in that name to warrant a raised eyebrow or two. If you guys didn't know, I'm Canadian. You might be thinking, what does this have to do with Zozo though? How do we connect the two? Well, Evans is an outspoken Led Zeppelin fan and even cites Page's Zoso in his original post. So we could all very well be interacting with a demon brought to life via classic rock mania. In addition to the rock and roll connection, there have also been multiple books written about Zozo since 2009. Evans co-authored one of them, but other authors worked on their own versions of the story too. The tale became so popular that it spawned a 2012 horror movie called I Am Zozo. The whole thing was shot on 8mm film, giving it a very grainy and old school feel. Not bad for a Ouija board flick. And finally, number 1. How to deal with Zozo. It's nice to know all sorts of facts and stories about our demonic pal Zozo, sure, but what if you come into contact with him at some point in the future? Nobody likes a demon swooping in and causing mayhem in their life, right? Well, I've compiled some tips on how to make sure you survive an encounter with this malevolent spirit. First, make sure you stay calm. Demons feed on fear, so freaking out will only encourage it more. Take some deep breaths and do your best to ground yourself. Next, say sayonara. Move the Ouija marker to goodbye and then close the game. This will prevent you from communicating further with the demon. Now, even if you close the game, Zozo might still attempt to make contact with you. It might even go full poltergeist and start throwing things around or attempt to possess you. Make sure you cut off all communication. Don't react to what's happening around you. And seriously, don't use Zozo's name. Saying it out loud gives him power, and you don't want that. Lastly, if all of the above fail, seek some professional paranormal help. A priest should know what to do, but if they pull the classic horror movie move and refuse to continue, find yourself a paranormal expert. Think Ed and Lorraine Warren, but maybe with a lower profile. Not everyone can afford Hollywood demon hunters. Well, I hope that was informative. There's a lot of information about all sorts of demons out there, so let me know if you want to hear more specific demon stories. Hopefully I've inspired you to be responsible while communicating with the dead, and maybe go give the Led Zeppelin discography another listen. Before we wrap up, let's take a look at some of your comments from last time. Rogue Ronin says, the number 1 should have gone to the God Hand from Berserk. The God Hand is indeed terrifying, but I already gave a number 1 spot to the God Hand on our scariest gods in literature list, and I want to make sure that we cover a wide range. Just some Bigfoot with internet access says, no one. Demons. Demonic noises. Bigfoot? How did you get internet access? Eric Soberanis asks, yo, what up Keegan? What's the craziest thing you've ever eaten? Chris, cut that. I mean, one time I had 50 chicken wings in one sitting. Does that count? Just Me says, hello. Hi. Jacob Griffith says, I feel like Demon Slayer, Berserk, and Blue Exorcist belong on here. Maybe some fake characters like Gilderay. All good choices for sure. Give it time and I'm sure we'll have a chance to talk about all sorts of anime missing from that list. And that is all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.